At a recent anti-racism football match in Romania's capital, Bucharest, those taking part were almost outnumbered by the journalists, photographers and TV crews who had turned up to cover the event. For Romania's media to take such an interest in such an occasion was a positive reflection on the changing attitudes towards racism within the country.
The kids didn't want to play with me. They were saying, hey, look, we cannot play with a stinky gypsy. I mean, I was a kid, so I didn't really realize what was going on. They crap on my door and they wrote on it, stinky gypsy.
Those were just two of the many experiences a young Valeriu Nicolae had to endure as a young Roma child growing up in Romania. The Roma communities, often referred to as gypsies, have been almost constant victims of discrimination throughout history. All too often, a blind eye has been turned to blatant examples of racist behavior.
One of my teachers put me in front of the entire class. I was all sweaty because I was playing basketball, so I came back to the class. And he put me in front of the class and asked everybody else to come and smell how a stinky gypsy smells like.
Almost single-handedly, Valeriu has forced the Romanian authorities to face up to a problem that has been prevalent in the country for decades.
I'm extremely passionate about what I'm doing. I mean, I'm an activist and I love what I'm doing. I think it has an impact and I can change something. Soccer has an enormous potential to promote values, from moral values to any kind of other values. I think has an enormous impact in our societies.
Scenes such as these, with banners displaying racist attitudes towards the Roma community, were, until recently, an all too frequent sight at matches in Romania. As a direct result of Valeriu's campaigning, the Romanian Football Federation accepted this was a problem that could no longer be ignored. They now provide annual funding in the region of €40,000 for anti-racism campaigns. Through Valeriu's efforts, other organisations have also become involved, with a total budget now in excess of €100,000. In a sport where positive role models play a vital part, Valeriu has persuaded fellow Romani and Romania international Valeriu Nicolae to put his name to the cause.
It took me 2 years to manage to convince Valeriu Nicolae to accept to be the ambassador against racism in football. And I think it's going to take me another 5-6 years until I get a lot more people speaking up about it.
Indeed, progress doesn't happen overnight, but attitudes are slowly beginning to change.
The attention of the media started to be indeed on racism, to be on violence in sports, and suddenly we had all over the TV that, okay, we have a problem with racism.
But Valeriu's efforts have come at a cost, with threats made against both himself and his family.
I got lots of threatening phone calls. People will call my mobile just to tell me to die and that they will kill me, they will try to kill my family and so on. With my mom, I think it's very hard on her.
Suntem oameni, respirăm același aer.
We are human. We breathe the same air as the majority. And if we live with the lions, we become lions. If they act correctly, didn't steal or lie, if they were fair, then definitely a part of the gypsies who make the same mistakes wouldn't be making them.
Through the work of individuals like Valeriu and organisations such as FIFA, the ongoing battle to stamp out racism in football will continue. Last year, to mark the birthday of Nelson Mandela, an anti-racism match took place in Cape Town with some of the biggest names in the game giving their support to the campaign. But it's a battle that football and society in general has to embrace. Football, regardless of race, gender or ability, is a sport for all. One game, one family.
It's just the beginning. I mean, we have a very long way forward. It's important for the young generation to grow up normally, and football has a role to play.